Have you ever tried to solve a problem algebraically and got stuck in the middle? Or worse, it took you forever but you still haven't found the answer? Well, that's because not every problem in the GMAT and GRE exams are designed to be solved algebraically. As I've said many times, GMAT and GRE are reasoning exams rather than math exams, so they are in no way obligated to give you something that can be solved purely mathematically. Let's look at this problem for example. When you see this problem, your first instinct is to write an equation and solve for the variable. So we have this number x, let's add it to its reciprocal 1 over x, and that will give us 65/8. We can then put both fractions into the same denominator and simplify, which will eventually give us this quadratic equation after a few steps. Now this equation is not exactly easy to solve because the coefficient of the x squared term is not 1, it's 8. So to solve this, we can either use the quadratic formula. Given the values of a, b and c, it's not going to be too much fun either. And if you're thinking of factoring, trust me, it's going to get very ugly too. Then what should I do, right? Let me introduce back solving, a process in which instead of solving the problem algebraically, you test the answer choices and see which one fits the story or the equation. Remember that this was our equation. Now we want to test which of the 5 answer choices added to its reciprocal will give you exactly 65/8. Now before we start testing a random answer choice, let's try removing bad answers first. Now what does bad mean exactly? Now in most of the word problems, there are certain answers that will look too big or too small depending on the context. Sometimes you are expecting an even number and some of the answers are odd. Maybe you somehow know that the answer must be an integer but some of the answer choices are not, etc, etc. Now in this problem, we can definitely remove some of the answers by sides because 65/8 is the sum of two things, the number and its reciprocal. The number itself cannot be 65/8 or more, right? Also, if you flip the answer choice A, it's already 65/8, so that cannot be the right answer either because remember we are also adding the number, the original number, to the reciprocal. That leaves us with two possible answers, B and C. Now if you're thinking maybe I intentionally put bad answers here just to make this process look good, let me assure you that even in the official questions, you can usually remove a couple of answers just by looking at their sides. Sometimes you can remove even 3 or 4, in which case you already have the right answer. In the future, I'll make several videos with many examples of problems in which you can eliminate the wrong answers quickly. So if you want, please subscribe to this channel and be on the lookout for those problems. Okay, now since we have only 2 answer choices left, I recommend testing the nicer or the rounder number first. If you have 3 answer choices left, you should test the middle one and go up or down by sides. But when you have 2 left, just go with the nicer one. So if x is 8, 8 plus 1 over 8 is simply 65/8, which does satisfy the equation. That means our answer must be 8. Now people ask me all the time, how do I know when I can back solve? Well, part of the answer is when your answer choices are numerical values rather than percentages or ratios, etc. You can generally back solve, but only if you are solving for a single variable. For example, in this case, we want the value of one number. But if you are asked to find the value of, let's say, x plus y, then back solving may not be practical because in that case, you'll have to break down the answer into 2 parts and test, and there will be so many possibilities that in the given time, it will be infeasible if not impossible. Now, I recommend back solving especially when you are dealing with quadratic equations. Sometimes it's hard to know whether you will run into a quadratic equation in the problem, but 2 very common signals are 1 when 2 variables are multiplying and 2 the variable is in the denominator of the fraction. This is how you know that there is an impending quadratic equation. Finally, you can say that solving this problem algebraically is something like this, and back solving would be this. I hope this was helpful and funny, and as always, thank you for watching.